Okay, now we're going to do the head. I've done all the tiny parts of the head, so now I'm going to do the head and then assemble the rest onto it. And you can turn that piece into a keychain or just a deco piece. So we're going to start to make the head by making a magic circle. Or you can call it a magic ring. So inside the magic circle, you're going to do 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 single crochet. So after this 8 single crochet, you go to the first stitch. If you do not know where's the first stitch, you count the V shape here. Come back here, you will find your first stitch. We're going to do increase. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Wait, let me add a marker. So we're going to do increase all around. This is my first increase. Second. Okay, so this is the 8 increased. So after this 8 increase, I will have 16 stitches in this row. So now we go to row 3. Row 3, I'm gonna start with a single crochet. Oops, let me do that again. I'm gonna start with a single crochet, add a marker. After this single crochet, I'm gonna do increase. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So 1 single crochet, 1 increase. You're gonna repeat this until you come back here, and you should have 24 stitches. Okay, now for row 4, I'm going to do single crochet followed by an increase. Wait, let me 1 single crochet, then you do increase. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch and 1 single crochet into the next stitch. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, this makes 1 set. You should make 8 sets of it, and by the time you come back here, you should have 32 stitches. Okay, now for row 5, I'm going to do single crochet in the next 3. This is 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry, let me do that again. Okay, 1, 2, this is 3. After 3 single crochet, I'm going to do increase. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch. 3 single crochet, increase. And you're going to do 8 sets, and by the time you come back here, you should have 48 stitches. Okay, now for row 6. Row 6, I'm going to start with single crochet in the next 2. Let me add my marker. So this is 1, this is 2, followed by an increase. Oops. Okay, followed by an increase. Increase means 2 single crochet into the same stitch and single crochet in the next 2. So 2 single crochet, increase, 2 single crochet. This makes 1 set. So by the time you come back here, you should have 8 sets and you should have 48 stitches. And now for row 7 until row 14, you're gonna do single crochet all around and you're gonna get 48 stitches in every row. Row 7 until row 14. I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of row 14. Okay, this is row 14. Now how are you gonna know if this is row 14? This is your marker. You count from here up to this side, not this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 rows here. So now we're going to go to row 15. Row 15, we're going to start by doing single crochet in the next 2. This is 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and now we're going to do decrease. I'm going to do invisible decrease. I'm going to take the front loop. This is the front loop and the front loop. I'm gonna yarn over 2, yarn over 2. This is a decrease. So decrease means I'm gonna make these 2 into 1. So single crochet in the next 2, decrease, and single crochet in the next 2. 1, 2. So for those who do not really know how to see after the decrease, you're not sure which box to take, which stitch to take, you can add marker all around to show you where is the next decrease. So this is considered 1 set and you're gonna make 8 sets of it, and by the time you come back here you should have 40 stitches. Okay, now for row 16 I'm going to do single crochet in the next 3. This is 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna do an invisible decrease or a 2 together. So 3 single crochet, decrease. So this is what I mean, like when you have taken these 2 become 1. Sometimes for beginners you're not sure whether to when is your next stitch. This one has been taken because these 2 become 1, so the next stitch should be here. So for those who are still not familiar, after a decrease, which is the next stitch, add marker. So before you start, you just add marker, 3, decrease, 3, decrease. So once you reach your marker, you will know that is your decrease point. So now this is 1 set. You do 8 sets of it, and by the time you come back here you should have 32 stitches. Now for row 17. Row 17, you're going to start with a single crochet, followed by a decrease or a 2 together, and single crochet in the next stitch. So single crochet, decrease, single crochet. This makes 1 set and you're going to make 8 sets of it, and by the time you come back here you should have 24 stitches. This is a 4-ply yarn. This is a 5-ply yarn. Can you see? It's slightly smaller and I use the same hook, 3mm hook. So this is smaller and this is bigger. And now we're gonna assemble all these. So first we are going to sew the crown. We call this the crown or the thorn or the horn. No, it's not a horn. Okay, first we're gonna do this one first. So I'm not gonna finish this. If you have followed my videos, I like to assemble before I add stuffing. So this is the wider one, this is the narrow one. So the wider one will be on top of the head. So in order to know whether this is the right spot, you check the magic circle. You go one stitch down. It's not exactly at the magic circle. So since I have all this tail here, pull it inside the head. And just pull it inside the head and the back. It won't be easy because there's no stuffing and this is kind of soft. So you just add the red tail, pull it in, and there's another red tail here. Because now, as at now, I haven't added any eyes or nose. So long it looks like a straight line, and it's okay. So just find a spot and pull this over and take a look. If you think this is the right spot, okay, just take a look and see. It should be correct. And these two tail here, just tie a knot. You don't have to pull too hard, don't pull too tight. You will not want it to kind of fold in. Just tie a loose knot to kind of hold it in place, and make sure whenever you stitch, do not accidentally stitch this part, because we still have to crochet. We still need to seal the head. There's one more tail here, this yellow tail, bring it over as well. Bring it over. Okay, so now we have a guide here as to where it should be. Okay, pull this over in order for it not to interfere with our stitching, with our sewing. Just tie a loose knot so that it won't come off. And this one, we're gonna start to sew. So here, make sure all this flame would face upwards. So I'm gonna make one stitch inside, and I am going to make one stitch here. I'm gonna go through this and put it back into the same hole, the same stitch, so it will kind of hold it in place. Then you go to the next one. Do the same, put through, it will come through this side, find the exact spot and sew. So it will kind of hold it down. So as that when you stitch, just make sure it goes to a straight line. So I'll come back to you once I sew the whole thing. Okay, now we're gonna attach this here. I've done these two over this side. So what I did is, you take a look at this. I think this one I should go more to the front. It's too late to take out now. It still look cute. If you have not done this yet, maybe you should move it a bit to the front. So this one is just next to it. Just check where is the other one. Make sure this is next to it. So normally what I do is I make a stitch like this, and you kind of like hold it down and take a look. If this is where it should be, where you think it should be, and you start to sew. So how I sew it, I'm not putting any stuffing here because I do not want it to be too firm. So this way you can actually shape it around. So I'm going to go this way and go down. Since I do not have any stuffing, it's way easier to sew. And just go around it. If you're not satisfied, you have extra yarn, you can go 2 rounds. You continue to do the same for the smaller horn. Oh, look at that. So when you sew, be careful of this. See, I accidentally took it along. So this one, make sure you have it on the other side. Make sure this is on the other side. Oops, sorry. I just went off screen. Okay, just make sure when you sew you do not interfere with this, because we still need to crochet with this yarn. Isn't it easier to sew when there's no stuffing? But it's still up to you. If you prefer to sew when you have stuffing, you find it easier, then you drag the video to the end, complete the whole head before you start to sew all this. So you take a look and see if there's any holes anywhere. You can do 2 rounds, and you check around and see if you're satisfied with this, and you do the same for the smaller one. Okay, let me show you again with the smaller one, because earlier on I think some of it went off screen. So you just base on this part here and you determine where you should put the horn. So if it's here, you just make a stitch like this. And stitch onto the horn. And take a look and see if this is the right spot. If you think this is the right spot, and you can start to sew and go through here. It comes out here because I haven't added stuffing yet. It comes out here. Make sure it goes under the horn. This way you won't see the stitches much, and I find that it's more neat this way since I have not added stuffing, and it won't be so difficult to sew, especially small parts like this. If you have stuffing, your needle is kind of difficult to go through, but up to you. If you think you are comfortable sewing after stuffing, then you add stuffing first. Then you should drag the video to the end, complete the whole head before you add stuffing, and make sure set this aside and don't accidentally sew it in. So you think if it's too shaky, you can make another round. I mean, since if you have extra yarn, the tail is long enough, just make 2 more rounds. The needle always goes in and not this way. So if you find it already nicely secured, there's no holes anywhere, and if this is too long, cut it, and this tail, just tie a knot with any tail that is available inside. There are so many tails inside, right? Just tie a knot. And now we're gonna assemble the other part. Okay, now we're gonna assemble the nose first before we do the eye, you know, just in case I don't have much space for the eye. So here, make sure it's in the middle here, slightly further down so that I have space for the eye. And as for all this, make sure you push it in. Oh sorry, it should be, yeah, it should be this way. Okay, this should go down a bit. So my yarn ends here. So what I do is place it onto the head and see where it should be. You make 1 stitch here. Oops, how did that happen? Okay, you make 1 stitch here, and you bring your needle all the way to this side and make 1 stitch here. and you check and see if this is the right spot. So once you think that this is the right spot, push all this in when you, or you can push it back in later when you are done. So remember, this part is supposed to go down. So when I sew, since I'm gonna start from here, I'm gonna put my needle way back in. It's not this way, it's this way, so that when I pull, everything goes inwards. This is the part where it makes the nose looks like kind of flare up. Okay, here supposed to be this way. You make sure this is, you didn't bring this along. So here, because this part, I'm going to pull it down here to make it go V shape. So it looks like this. And now I can start to sew from this side of the I'm not going to add stuffing because I do not want it to be too firm. Oh wait, there's a hole here. Let me cover up this hole first. Make sure this doesn't get in the way. Don't worry too much about it now, because later you can still shape it around for your photo session. Make very sure you do not bring this along. So you see here it kind of bent in a bit. So now is the time to sew over this side. See how I come up from the inside, not straight but slanting, so that when I pull the stitch it will kind of like oops, be careful. See, it will make the nose kind of like flare up. And here what have I done? Oh, see, you have to be careful. You have to be alert. Do this slowly, stitch by stitch, and make sure you do not grab all this. Excuse me. This nose looks a bit like flare up. I hope so. And one more stitch here, and this is the critical part because I want this to go down, so I make one more stitch straight through the bottom and give it a pull so that it look a bit more like a V-shaped thing. When this goes down, these two sides looks like it's kind of flare up, and make sure it's around here, and this you can continue. If you think that you have extra yarn and you want to make few more stitches, you can just take a look around and see if there's any part that looks like there's a big hole. If not, then this is it, and you cut the yarn shorter and tie a knot in.